Hey viewers, I did it again, another auction. This time it was an online auction. It was all bikes and bike parts and stuff. I won 11 lots. Now what was kind of interesting is for this auction, they had like about 3 photos of each lot and a 1-sentence description describing what was in that particular lot. The pictures were generally fairly high level, and so it's kind of hard to tell what was in the stuff in the boxes. So you kind of be zooming in and trying to figure out what was in there and what I wanted to bid on. And in some cases, I was actually a little bit surprised with what I actually got. It was not exactly what I thought it was, but it's all good. Anyway, let me show you the stuff I got. Now in the first lot, it looked like cables and cable housings, and sure enough, there were about 30-some shift cables here in a box, a Jaguar. And what I thought was cable housing actually is not cable housing. This is like just a hollow plastic tubing, fairly large diameter. I'm not sure exactly what this is used for. There's a smaller diameter tubing here. This is like cable liner, and this is useful for like covering up exposed cable between cable stops or running through cable guides. So this will definitely come in handy. So not sure exactly what this stuff is for though. Now the next lot that I won was for these 6 hubs. What drew me to this lot in the picture was what I thought were a couple disc brakes hubs, and there was one. So it's got the mounts on there for the rotor on there. It's a rear hub, but what I thought was a front disc brake hub was this, and I'm not sure exactly what this is. It feels like nice machined aluminum. The center part turns in there, feels like bearings in there, but there's no holes for spokes or anything on there. It looks like this part unscrews and there's splines on there. So maybe some sort of wheel like slides on there and then this is tightened on to hold it in place. It looks like maybe like from the width, maybe a front wheel of some sort. But if anybody knows what this is, please let me know down in the comments because I just don't know. Now, what was a real nice surprise was these 2 hubs. DK Macho, there's a rear hub and a front hub. Look at the size of these axles. These things are heavy duty. I'm pretty sure these are for serious BMX racing bikes. This is threaded on both sides. Looking at the holes on there, they don't even look like they were even used. So a couple brand new, pretty nice BMX racing type hubs on there. And then there were a couple other hubs on there, like a high flanged hub on here, bolted, looks like a front wheel, and then a rear wheel hub with a free hub on there. Shimano, looks fairly well used, but I might be able to do something with this stuff. Now the next lot that I won was for this. It's a Shimano Nexus Inter 3 internally geared coaster brake hub. And looking at this, look at the holes on the spokes. It doesn't look like it was ever even used. So it looks like brand new. And it came with the shifter mechanism here. And it came with a bag of parts with cogs, some other stuff in there, as well as documentation. So it looks like brand new, very cool. And then it came with these. I'm not sure what these are. They look like shims, 24-degree stem, and there's plus 22, minus 26. I'm not quite sure exactly what these are, whether they went with the hub and the shifter unit or if they're just separate, but they were in here as well. And there was a little American flag in here. USA, USA. Now in this next lot that I won, what grabbed me was the description that said there was a RockShox elastomer. Actually there wasn't. There was a spring, 01 Silo XC-SL, 65 pounds, so the brand new spring, probably for a RockShox, because I think that's a Silo. There's also a assembly cartridge 102 millimeter XL, and it comes with a little adjuster thing in there, so I'm guessing it's a fork part of some sort, but I don't know what it's exactly for. There's some pedals, Atom Lab World Finest Performance pedals, tough as hell. And so there's these 2 pedals in there, and these look like really nice pedals, and it comes with the cleats and everything in there, documentation. They look brand new, and the box said that they retailed for like about 120 bucks, so that's pretty cool. There's this little part in here. I don't know exactly what this is. It says 00 carbon fiber ST upgrade kit. It's like a little aluminum part in there, so I don't know what that is. There's a little tube of antiseptic healing ointment and another American flag. Yay! Now this next lot that I won has a whole bunch of sealed cartridge bottom brackets, square taper, different lengths. There's like 12 of them in here. And what's interesting is that none of them have the little non-drive side little cup holder part that goes with them. They're just the cartridges themselves, but they look like they're brand new. There's this Thompson axle. It's a carded crank with bottom bracket and all the parts in there, so that's in there. This stuff, it says SST door clip. It kind of looks like it's part of some sort of a rack mount maybe, but that stuff's in there. There's a little purple stem. There's a little display thing for cat eye in there. Now there's a whole bunch of cables, and they all have road style brake cable ends on there. They're different lengths, but they look brand new. My guess is the other end maybe had a mountain bike brake cable end on there, and so they were cut. And so these are like the leftover parts. So there's a whole bunch of these. There's another little American flag, and then the cool blue bin that came with this stuff. So this is pretty cool. Now this is the next lot that I won. There's a bunch of these pegs in here, which I have really no use for. There's a lower end aluminum seat post in there. I might be able to use something like that, don't know. There's a 3-speed internally geared hub. It's a Shimano 333. I've already done a video overhauling one of these, so I can't really do that. And overall, the 333 hubs, they're not very robust. They're prone to breaking, so I don't know. It might be junk as it is, don't know. There's an axle with a skewer in there. I might be able to use the cones or use the skewer on that. There's a stem in here. It looks like it's stainless steel. That's actually pretty cool. Might be find some use for that. There's a bunch of chains in here. I don't tend to reuse used chains, so I don't know. My wife might be able to make jewelry or something out of them. Don't know. There's a bunch of hubs over here. I might be able to use 1 or 2 or more of these. Now, one of the reasons I've been looking at this lot was because there was pedals. There was a whole bunch of pedals. Unfortunately, almost all of these pedals are mismatched. There's no matching pedals in there except for these two here. So I have one pair of matching pedals out of this whole bunch. And there's a dork disc in there. So overall, this lot was pretty disappointing, but I did get another blue bin, so that's pretty cool. Now, the next lot I won was kind of an interesting mishmash of stuff that I'm not quite sure exactly what I'm going to do with all of it. First, there are some brake levers in here. Not all of them necessarily matched. There's a couple grips in here which are not matched. I do not know what these two parts are. They're like threaded, kind of a fine pitch thread on this side and not on this side. And they're like stainless steel, I think. I don't know what these are. There's a whole bunch of these cage parts for like derailleurs there's a bunch of different ones in here. So there's those. These look like derailleur pivots. So there's some derailleur pivots in here and some other this is like part of a derailleur, I think. Just some miscellaneous stuff in here. There's some sort of like links. They're not master links, they're just individual links. So I am not quite sure exactly what all these for, but there's whole bunches of bags of these things. Then it gets into stuff. There's some axle nuts in here, bearings, that gets into parts of internally geared hubs. There's a whole bunch of internally geared hub parts in here. Little cones, little parts like here. You see you got the little notches there, and some bearings here, like Inter 7. So these are for like some of the newer Shimano internally geared hubs. There's some like little splined axles for internally geared hubs in here. There's a bunch of these like leather things in here. I'm not quite sure what these are for, but I got some of those. I do not know what this is for. This almost looks like for like some sort of like antenna or something. Maybe, I don't know what the heck this is. And then there's a pressure gauge here. Looks like for a pump of some sort, and another American flag. So it's just a really interesting smorgasbord of parts in here, but kind of interesting. And another blue bin, so that's really cool. And the next lot I won is just a crap load of skewers. All kinds of different ones. Most of them do not have the little screw end part, you know, for their, but there's a couple, there's some of them that do have them. There's a couple loose ones in the bottom there, but just tons of skewers. And you always use skewers. Here's one, the campy here one, but so this is a really cool lot. Now the next lot I won was listed as RockShox parts, and there is a RockShox in here, Alps 4. Looks like it's missing like part here, like to pressurize it, but then there's a bunch of springs. There's another shock in here, No Clean, NR MTB shock made in USA, and another shock in here, DNM DV22. There's some springs. There's some other parts in here. Yukon FX rocker arm bolt set there. Here's a RockShox rear mount HW22.2X something parts in here. There's this 10 Rain X lower link, so a little part in there. And then there's some other miscellaneous stuff in here. Not quite sure what that is. Not sure what this is. It sort of looks like it might be like part of a through axle or something. I don't know. So just some miscellaneous stuff in there. So I have to do some more research on all these parts to figure out if I can do anything with them. Now this lot was titled RockShox GT Fork Parts, and so I was kind of excited because I work on a lot of RockShox forks. I'm going, oh, hey, what kind of cool parts are in here? So I got it in there, and then there's this steerer plug for GT forks with steel steerers, and it's like this little plug that goes into the bottom of the steerer, like down there. So there's this, but there's about 9 or 10 of them, which is the majority of the lot. So I'm not quite sure exactly what I'm going to do with one of them, much less like 9 or 10 of them. But there was also some other miscellaneous parts in here. FSR replacement parts kit, I don't know, 00XE Enduro BH bolt kit. There's some other little stuff here, specialized bearing pivot kit. There's another FSR replacement parts kit, Enduro 150 bolt kit. There's another plug. Here's some more like bearing spacers here, and then another little bolt thing here. So there's some interesting parts in here, but I'm not sure exactly what, if anything, I can do with all this stuff. But I have it. Now this is the last lot that I won. I didn't pay a lot for it. The thing I was most interested in was these handlebars. There's some specialized handlebars, and they're ergo shaped, and so I could always use these for something. They're pretty cool. This is like a rack for like a side rack for panniers. So got that. I don't know what exactly I'll do with that. There's a bike lock and like a little bracket here for the bike lock. And then I was also, hey, look, a DVD of The Incredibles. I like that movie. And there's no DVD in it. It's just the case. So that was actually kind of disappointing because I actually like that movie. So this is the last lot that I won. But the story doesn't end here. Now, when I had seen the auction listings, I had recognized some of the parts in there from the local flea market. So I already knew some of the backstory of the parts, where they came from, and who was selling them. They came from a local bike shop that was going out of business. Somebody from one of the other bike shops went in, bought up all the remaining inventory, sold some of it through their bike shop, sold some of it at the flea market, and then eventually sold the rest of it through the auction. And so when I was at the flea market today, I saw the guy there and said, hey, I bought a bunch of your parts at the auction, and told him some of the stuff I had. Well, he pointed me over this bin and said, hey, I got a bunch of chains over here. I'll sell them to you for $10. So I was looking at the chains going, but I really don't like reusing used chains. He goes, no, they're not used chains. They're all brand new chains. They're in the park section. And so I was looking at these. I think a lot of them might be BMX chains. I'm not sure, but there's at least one 8-speed chain in here. I think there's probably more. I need to go through with a caliper, measure the chains, and sort them out, put them in the bags, and label them so I know what I have. So for $10. Also in this bin here, there was some grips for grip shifters. There was a Lone Tektro brake lever. There's some headset parts over here. Another American flag. I don't know. There might be other stuff hidden under all these chains. Plus another blue bin. Plus, The chains that I found, that were in the other auction bin were also brand new chains, is what he told me. So those are also brand new chains. So I have to go through and sort those as well. Now, I paid $10 for this. What I paid for the auctions, for the bids, the buyer's premium, and all the sales tax was $280 for all that stuff. So $290 for all these parts. How do you guys think I did? Let me know down in the comments. If you guys can identify what some of those weird parts that I don't know what they are, please let me know down in the comments also. Or if there's anything that jumped out at you as be really cool stuff, also let me know down in the comments. Anyway, I hope you found this video useful or interesting. If you did, please give my video a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel, click that subscribe button down there and be sure to click the bell so you get notified when new videos come out. I'm over on Facebook, RJ the Bike Guy. Go over there, like that page. I post a lot of stuff over there. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching.